Happy Gopurnim. Hare Krishna.
Happy Gopurnim.
Happy Gopurnim. So we're just reading Bhagavatam because that's what you do. Lord Chaitanya came to teach about how to be a devotee and about devotional service, and he relished hearing Srimad Bhagavatam like anything. He would hear and he would say, repeat it again, do it again, chant it again, so like that. So we're going to read some Bhagavatam. Where are we?
Canto 3, chapter 23, text 13. And Devahuti's lamentation.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
It looks photoshopped again, doesn't it? Alright, text 13. It was a wonderful structure. This is describing the aerial mansion. It was a wonderful structure, bedecked with all sorts of jewels, adorned with pillars of precious stones, and capable of yielding whatever one desired. It was equipped with every form of furniture and wealth, which tended to increase in the course of time. Purport. The castle created in the sky by Kardama Muni may be called a castle in the air, but by his mystic power of yoga, Kardama Muni actually constructed a huge castle in the air. To our feeble imagination, a castle in the sky is an impossibility. But if we scrutinizingly consider the matter, we can understand that it is not impossible at all. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead can create so many planets carrying millions of castles in the air, a perfect yogi like Kardama Muni can easily construct one castle in the air. The castle is described as Sarva Kama Dugham, yielding whatever one desired. It was full of jewels. Even the pillars were made of pearls and valuable stones. These valuable stones and jewels
Valuable Jones and stools
were not subject to deterioration, but were everlastingly and increasingly opulent. We sometimes hear of castles thus bedecked on the surface of this earth also. The castles constructed by Lord Krishna for his 16,108 wives were so bedecked with jewels that there was no need of lamplight during the night. That must have been awkward, because when you go to sleep it's too bright.
Well, maybe it was just like a
rooms.
Dim hue,
Well, in certain rooms.
So, yeah, we were discussing that yesterday.
Yeah.
I was saying about, some people can hardly get a ring on, a diamond on their ring. But, there the pillars are filled with diamonds and precious stones. The floor, the walls.
That they're stepping on. Yeah,
it's like, part of the mixture, in the concrete to lay the floor. It's a bug, man. By the way, it's almost like the first day of spring out. The sun is out. The sky is so blue. It's still a little chilly.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can feel spring is coming.
Nice atmosphere. Everyone's happy.
Text 14 and 15. The castle was fully equipped with all necessary paraphernalia, and it was pleasing in all seasons. It was decorated all around with flags, festoons, and artistic work of variegated colors. It was further embellished with wreaths of charming flowers that attracted sweetly humming bees, and with tapestries of linen, silk, and various other fabrics. It's a very opulent mansion, huh? 16. The palace looked charming with beds, couches, fans, and seats all separately arranged in 7 stories.
Jeepers.
7-story mansion. I mean,
Flying.
it's Kardama Muni living in a shack, and now he's got like a 7-story mansion that flies through the universe. It is understood from this verse that the castle had many stories. The words upari 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 Vinyasta indicate that skyscrapers are not newly invented. Even in those days, millions of years ago, the idea of building many-storied houses was current. They contained not merely one or two rooms, but many different apartments, and each was completely decorated with cushions, bedsteads, sitting places, and carpets.
It reminds me of recently, not to get too political, but they're punishing in this country what's it called?
Oligarchs.
Is that what it's called? The oligarchs.
Oligarchs.
Oligarchs. Russian oligarchs.
I don't think it's ugly guards. I think it's oligarchs.
But they're saying how, because they're seizing their, for example, their yachts. Yacht.
Speak English.
Like one cost for one person, and he had more than one, £570 million. And I couldn't even fathom that, £570 million boat, basically. And it was showing it, it had different, floors. And everyone was like, oh, and that's just one of them, of many. And we're not talking about the properties and everything else to have. Yeah, it's just like, I couldn't, whoa. But then, this is how many millions of years ago? We're reading different yuga. Then we got Kaido Muni, simple. He's a sage. Obviously very advanced. And at his will, just produce this 7-story aerial mansion and whatever. Yeah, and you weren't really attached either, when the business is done, whatever. I just think, Anyway, text 17. Its beauty was enhanced by artistic engravings here and there on the walls. The floor was of emerald with coral daisies. Purport. At the present moment, people are very proud of their architectural art, yet floors are generally decorated with coloured cement. It appears, however, that the castle constructed by the yogic powers of Kaido Muni had floors of emerald with coral daisies. It's true though, isn't it? Like we were looking the other day, that's got nice wood flooring, There's some places that are nice. But these floors, there's like precious jewels and they're real, they're not fake and they look pretty, they're the actual thing.
Yeah. Emerald with coral daisies.
Yeah.
Text 18. The palace was very beautiful with its coral thresholds at the entrances and its doors bedecked with diamonds. There you go. Gold pinnacles crowned its domes of sapphire. Sapphire domes.
That must look quite nice. Beautiful. Sapphire with gold trimming, isn't it? That's nice.
With the choicest rubies set in its diamond walls, it appeared as though possessed of eyes. It was furnished with wonderful canopies and greatly valuable gates of gold. Purport. Artistic jewelry and decorations giving the appearance of eyes are not imaginary. Even in recent times, when the Mughal emperors constructed their palaces with decorations of jeweled birds with eyes made of valuable stones. The stones have been taken away by the authorities, but the decorations are still present in some of the castles constructed by the Mughal emperors in New Delhi. The royal palaces were built with jewels and rare stones resembling eyes, and thus at night they would give off reflective light without a need for lamps.
Text 20. Here and there in that palace were multitudes of live swans and pigeons.
Pigeons.
As well as artificial swans and pigeons, so lifelike that the real swans rose above them again and again, thinking them live birds like themselves. Thus the palace vibrated with the sounds of these birds.
By the way, rose above them, I think, means tried to mount them.
Alright, we don't need that purport.
Alright. Well, I mean, it's how lifelike they are. It's like, oh, look at that, mate. It's a nice bird over there, isn't it? Sorry. It's a bad accent.
Text 21. The castle had pleasure grounds, resting chambers, bedrooms, and inner and outer yards designed for an eye to comfort. All this caused astonishment to the sage himself. Purport. Cardinal Muni, being a saintly person, was living in a humble hermitage, but when he saw the palace constructed by his yogic powers, which was full of resting rooms, rooms for sex enjoyment, and inner and outer yards, he himself was astonished. That is the way of a God-gifted person. A devotee like Cardinal Muni exhibited such opulence by his yogic power at the request of his wife. But when the opulence was produced, he himself could not understand how such manifestations could be possible. When a yogi's power is exhibited, the yogi himself is sometimes astonished.
So he was like, wow, did I do that?
Yeah.
Like Prabhupada also, at one point, when things started opening up a little bit. And
Sorry. There's the fly lands on my nose. I don't need that.
when things started, I was going to say when things started to open up in Russia, but as things started
It's the invisible enemy.
starting to expand, Prabhupada said, even I could not have imagined this, So like that.
It's true, because Krishna can, when he wants to empower you, it can leave you like speechless, like, whoa.
Yeah. Text 22. When he saw Devahuti looking at the gigantic opulent palace with a displeased heart, Cardinal Muni could understand her feelings because he could study the heart of anyone.
Yeah.
Thus he personally addressed his wife as follows. Got a few parrots here. Purport. Devahuti had spent a long time in the hermitage, not taking much care of her body. Oh, Krishna, Lord of mercy.
It's a fresh air.
She was covered with dirt and her clothing was not very nice. Cardamma Muni was surprised that he could produce such a palace, and similarly his wife Devahuti was also astonished. How could she live in that opulent palace? Sorry, whoop, uh-oh. Oh no, how did that happen?
Oh. I've got technical difficulties.
Yeah. How could she live in that opulent palace? Cardamma Muni could understand her astonishment, and thus he spoke as follows.
Text 23. My dear Devahuti, you look very much afraid. First bathe in Lake Bindu Sarovar, created by Lord Vishnu himself, which can grant all the desires of a human being, and then mount this airplane. Purport. It is still the system to go to places of pilgrimage and take a bath in the water there. In Vrindavan, the people take baths in the river Yamuna. In other places, such as Prayag, they take baths in the river Ganges. The words Tirtam Asisam Yapakam refer to the fulfillment of desires by bathing in a place of pilgrimage. Cardinal Muni advised his good wife to bathe in Lake Bindu Sarovar so that she could revive the former beauty and luster of her body.
And if I recall correctly, this lake Bindu Sarovar, this is the lake next to his hermitage, which is the lake that was created by the tears of the Lord when he came to see him, and he was so pleased by the austerities that he had performed to attract the Lord there. The Lord was so pleased by these austerities that it had attracted him that he began to cry tears, and those tears manifested Bindu Sarovar like that. Text 24. The lotus-eyed Devahuti accepted the order of her husband because of her dirty dress and the locks of matted hair on her head. Lotus-eyed Devahuti accepted the order of her husband. Because of her dirty dress and the locks of matted hair on her head, she did not look very attractive. Yes.
This is ironic, because I think he didn't look very attractive either, did he?
Wow. But he didn't mind.
Yeah.
And she obviously didn't mind either. But he didn't mind about the way she looked either. But in general, ladies are a little bit more...
I guess.
Not all of them. But ladies in general are a little more
Yeah,
you want to say
conscious.
bodily conscious, but
Yeah.
the way they look conscious,
Yeah.
you know, like that's why women put on makeup. You don't usually see men putting on makeup. They pluck their eyebrows and stuff. They do all kinds of bits and pieces to make themselves look presentable. So, isn't that right, ladies? Okay, 25.
You didn't read the purport.
Oh, I didn't.
No, we're waiting.
I gave the purport. Okay, Prabhupada says, it appears that Devahuti's hair had remained uncombed for many years
Jeepers.
and had become complicated in tangles. Sounds like a name of a song, Complicated in Tangles. In other words, she neglected her bodily dress and comforts to engage in the service of her husband. So remember, he was performing austerity and she just surrendered to do the same thing. But now all of a sudden she's like, okay, so hello, you know, got an aerial mansion and now I look all like disheveled. So she felt bad.
Because she got to keep up with the Joneses
Well,
in the mansion.
I don't know if there are any Joneses in that mansion and around.
Yeah, it's true.
She's got her own understanding. But you can see, look, oh my God, this house is so, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, some people go to a restaurant, you're wearing like ripped jeans and a smelly t-shirt and you walk in and everyone's wearing like tie and tux and you're
Or
like,
even if you go to someone's house and it's really nice and that, and they look really nice and you're like, oh, I feel a bit rubbish. I don't feel like that anyway. I don't think I've been to anyone's house like that.
oh, okay.
Alright, text 25. Her body was coated with a thick layer of dirt and her breasts were discoloured. Oh dear. She dove, however, into the lake, which contained the sacred waters of the Saraswati. Text 26. In a house inside the lake, she saw 1,000 girls, all in the prime of youth and fragrant like lotuses. Text 27. Seeing her, the damsels suddenly rose and said with folded hands, we are your maidservants. Tell us what we can do for you.
Jai. Amazing. How many were there? Million.
1,000.
1,000.
Purport. While Devahuti was thinking of what to do in that great palace in her dirty clothes, there were at once, by the yogic powers of Kadwa Muni, 1,000 maidservants prepared to serve her. They appeared before Devahuti within the water and presented themselves as her maidservants, simply awaiting her orders.
Well, there you go.
That's a lot though, you don't need that many, you know?
Sure, I can use 1,000.
Right.
Just be like, can we do that? Can we do this? Let's do this. Let's do that. Somebody do that. Somebody.
Okay.
Should we read one last one or? Yeah, it's Shorty McGillicuddy. Text 28. The girls, being very respectful to Devahuti, brought her forth, and after bathing her with valuable oils and ointments, they gave her fine, new, spotless cloth to cover her body. They then decorated with very excellent and valuable jewels which shone brightly. They then decorated her with very excellent and valuable jewels which shone brightly. Next they offered her food containing all good qualities and a sweet, inebriating drink called asavam. Interesting.
Prabhupada explains what it is in the purport.
Asavam is an Ayurvedic medical preparation. It is not a liquor. It is especially made from drugs.
But it's not alcoholic, it's just drugs.
And is meant, but I think when it says drugs, it doesn't mean like, you know, THC or LSD or some PCP.
There you go, stating the obvious. We know that. Yesterday when the camera was in the bush. We're not in the bush. Oh, okay.
So, it is not a liquor. It is especially made from drugs and is meant to improve metabolism for the healthy condition of the body.
I'd like that. I'd like that. I might Google that or something. I could need to increase my metabolism as I eat more.
Awesome. Okay. So I think
All
we've
right.
finished finish there.
Yeah.
And thank you all very much for tuning in, continuing to listen. Please like, please share, please comment.
Yes. And just
Trying
be
to
happy.
And we're trying to grow this channel, so help us out, mate.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki
Jai.
Jai. Happy Gaurapanim Mahotsav Ki
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai.